Hello guys and welcome to the next episode of Planet Coaster with me, Biffa. Thank you very much for joining me, and oh my goodness, look at this. This is Alpha 2 and we are looking at Mount Rushmore. This has been built using the new terrain tools that we have in Planet Coaster, and this is looking absolutely fantastic. We can see the coasters coming down in the background. It's about to come over the top of Mount Rushmore. I think this is there it goes! I think this is fantastic. I think this is absolutely fantastic, and we're going to take a look at some of the terrain additions that we've got now. Lots of options here in the menu, lots of things have been changed. We have new roller coasters as well we're going to work our way through, and we're probably going to start our own park and see if we can set up some nice terrain and stuff like that. But I thought I'd just take a couple of minutes just to look at some of the new maps that have been added to this game. This one's really cool. I like this one. It's got like all the coasters around the back. I think we've got some new flat rides as well that have been added. We have. There's a few new extra ones in there. Well, we'll be discovering those. But yeah, the coaster here is just wrapping around the terrain, going through the terrain, in the terrain, under the terrain. Oh, look. There they are. Coming in. Chief Beef Belief. Indeed. So this is one of the new maps that you can play around with. I think it's called this a bit of a Rushmore. Let's load up the next new map and we'll take a look, just a quick look at that one as well, because it just really gives you an insight in some of the new things that have been added in the Alpha 2 that was released today. Now this map is called That's Impossible. You may be looking at this thinking, well, what's so amazing about this map? Well, let's just scroll back a little bit and zoom up a little bit, and what can we see here? We've got floating islands that have been ripped out of the ground by... Look at this! Look at this thing! It's amazing! It's a flying, rocket-powered galleon in the sky. What more can I say about it? And this is absolutely looking amazing. It's like a futuristic, pirate-themed space... I don't know quite what you'd call it, but this really does show off. Let's see if I can... Whoa! Get my zoom here. There we go. Look, what have we got here? We've got rocket-powered fire and glitter. I forgot to mention the glitter-powered rockets that are on here. And this is something new that's been added in the scenery section. If we go to the VFX section, we have lots of special effects. We've got bubbles, confetti, electric rods. Oh, they're new. I haven't seen those. Fire of all different shapes and sizes like we've got here. Sparkly effects, steam, all sorts of VFX to really add some unique features to your game. And I think look at these, look. We can have fire. That is really adding detail to the game. And again, along with the terrain editing that's going on, I think that is looking absolutely fantastic. So once again, very cleverly showing off some of the new additions to the game. I think there's one more map, new one, that shows off another cool feature. So let's load that one up and check that one out as well. And here we go. It's the King Coaster Pit. I love this one. You may have seen this if you've been watching the live streams, and I think this is cool. Let's speed this up a bit and you'll get the full effect of what's going to happen. You can probably guess what's going to happen. You can see the roller... Hey! There it goes. You can see the roller coaster there. But look at that. We've got the King Coaster embedded into the ground, and again, this has all been made with the terrain features that we've got, and I think this is absolutely fantastic looking. Look, that goes through the terrain under here, pops out over here. I think that is so clever. I really like that. And some of the other things that have been added as well. If we just come into here we go. We now have gates for when people are getting on and off the coasters, which is really great to see. Let's wait for the coaster to turn up and just slow this down a bit. There we go. So people will now queue in their respective gates before they get into the seats and enjoy their roller coaster. Here we go. They're about to jump in when everybody's left. Right, it's now safe to get in. Excellent. And off they go. And we can see the new guys queuing up. Excellent. Spreading themselves out nicely. And it's all nice and orderly. Very British queuing system. I like it a lot. So let's just take a look at some of these new VFX additions, and I thought we'd start at night time with the fire ones, just so you can really see how they look. We've got like a large fire plate and a small fire plate, which of course you could put underground. We saw in the last little clip how these were added to make like a little fire pit. And then we have these, which are fantastic. A little small fire effect, a large, huge, big fire effect, and then like a flamethrower burst, it's called, that comes out every few seconds. Now, what is good as well that's been added is if we just come in here, let's just pause that a second. If we pick one of these, we now have the new advanced move and rotate function, which we can see here on the screen. We have the green, blue and the red arrow. And if we just select one of these arrows, we can now move that. There we go. So we can actually have that. Press escape. Oh, no, don't want to press escape. Let's select that again. Let's do that. Let's move it down. There we go. And we want that to stay. Please, can you stay? Underground. We move that there. There we go. And then we click on it and it stays. That's the way to do it. There we go. I would have thought pressing right click or escape would have made it stay as well, but that's maybe an undo function. There we go. So you can now have that underground as a fire effect, and of course that will work with anything. Let's take this hulking great big piece of fire here and we'll do the same. Here we go. So we'll place that one down. Let's get rid of that, and then we'll select the advanced move rotate tool, and again we can just slightly move that underground. We could shift that around if we wanted to. Let's go down a bit further. There we go. Excellent. And we can have that fire shooting out of anything. Let's check out the other new ones as well. Let's wait for the sun to come up first. Here we go. I think these are some of my favourite ones. We have the bubble sprayer and we have the confetti sprayer, which will be excellent. And also, there's been new animations added to the game as well. So people will react to things like music. They will hold their hands, they want to get close and personal to each other, they'll react to the entertainers and all that sort of thing. We have the electric boards here, so yeah, that'll be interesting to add some effects to some of our rides, and some electric, what are these ones called? Let's select one of these. The electric rod, so we've got large, medium and small, and a little sparking effect as well, which I think if you hide those in the wall, that'll look really cool. And you probably noticed this one next to me here. This is fantastic. Look at that, it's the explosion special effect. I think that one's fantastic. I'm looking forward to building my park and adding all of these in. With the fire that we've seen, these are smoke, so you can have those hidden away and have some smoke seeping out of your rides, and some sparks to go along with your smoke as well. Let's turn around this way. Here we have, I think this one's called steam. Yeah, there we go. So like hot steam, small, medium and large. Flavours of those as well. And of course, what park would be complete without water spraying out of the ground and scaring your children? Whoops, get some fire in the face. And scaring your children as you're running around the park. So that was some of the new VFX additions that have been added to the game. Well, let's check out some of the new flat rides that have been added. This one is called the Kick Flip. This is like a really retro, old USA type ride. Look at that, this is insane, this ride. Let's see if we can get a little view inside. Let's get our ride camera going. Okay, cinematic, here we go, this is what we want. So let's wait and see as we get flipped over. Whoa, there we go. Here it comes. Oh. Goodness me. Oh my goodness me. That is enough to make you feel sick. That is she's loving it though. That's really cool. And that is called the Kick Flip. I really like that one. You can hear it. It's the sounds as well that goes with these. The detail is just amazing. I'm absolutely loving the way it looks and the way it sounds. Excellent job. Let's check out one of the next flat rides that have been added as well. While we're setting up the next ride, have you noticed this new path that we have going through here? Under this menu here, we have natural paths. Let's have a look at these. It's looking very nice. We've got 4 different choices here. Let's have a look. Let's try these out. Well, we'll add this one to here, I think. We'll connect that up. There we go. That's like a rusticy, like it's been walked on a lot. We have the grass path, which is basically just grass with some lights around. I like that. Let's change that to a more worn down path. And then finally, what have we got here? So another grassy path. So these two seem to be the same with slightly different lighting options. Yep, these have got a little barrier and that hasn't got any. That's fantastic. But the next ride we're looking at here is this one, which is called the Radius. And it's even bigger than the last wheel that we had. Let's get our path connected up here. This is the exit, so let's change this path. We'll delete that. We'll delete that, we'll delete that, we'll delete that, and that one. And let's run our natural path up to here to get this connected. There we go. So we now have an entrance and an exit, and as usual with the path, it's changed the base. That looks a bit odd, doesn't it? Maybe we'll just, for that last piece of path. Oh, and it looks like you can just go over the top and change them without editing. You can. How about that? There we go. Another new addition. There we go. Let's change that. A grass path through to a natural path. Very nice. And our first victim, passengers are arriving right now. Yep, this ride is obviously very popular because it's brand new. I think we're going to wait for this to fill up and then we're going to give this a go ourselves because I think this looks like a fantastic ride. Oh, and it's going already. Okay, well, there we go. Let's get our ride camera going. Nice, relaxing, rose-tinted view of Rushmore Park and all the other rides that you wish to rush out and try that are whizzing by outside. But I think, again, that's another really, really nice ride. Love the detail, love the sound. Well, let's take a quick look at a couple of the terrain tool options, just to give you an idea of what's possible in the game. I'd like to add a ride into here, but it's not quite flat enough, it doesn't quite suit my purpose of what I want to do. This flatten to surface tool is fantastic. It will flatten anything depending on wherever you started with the tool. So I'm going to left click from here, and I'm going to draw out. There we go, and that is going to flatten this piece of terrain to that level that I first clicked on, which I think is fantastic. If you want to, then you can smooth it out. There we go. So it's not so much of a big and weird looking piece of terrain, but you've seen already the amazing Mount Rushmore sculpting options that we have, and that should be big enough to place. Let's have a look. Let's just smooth this out a bit more over here. Here we go. Fantastic. And that should be perfect for placing our last new flat ride on. And this new flat ride is called Insanity, which is fantastic. Just a couple of little things to look at while we're here. I've deliberately made this path a bit wonky, but you can see that as you go down now, you have steps instead of just the slope. We can have tighter connections on the path, so the angles are tighter, which is fantastic for doing branching paths. And also when I place my exit here, you could have that slope up and down as well. So the hold shift and move items up and down option works with our entrances, our ticket booths. We can see it's added some steps in there. Let's just take a quick camera view of this. So this is called the Insanity. I'm not quite sure what this one does. I think it keeps you rigid in your seats, and it will eventually completely tip you over. Yep, there we go. Oh my goodness me, I'm not sure whether this is a ride that I would really like. Need to make sure you've got an empty stomach before you go on this one. And here we go. Here we have an example of a couple holding hands. Oh, these two were holding hands a second ago. Let's see if they hold hands again. But they're obviously sort of talking to each other, enjoying the surroundings. Let's just take a look through here, see if we can spot any more. I bet there'll be some couples along here somewhere. There we go. There's a couple holding hands. Oh, and they let go again. The camera was on and they got slightly embarrassed, but that's a new addition to the game as well, which I think is really nice. Anything that adds personality, that's the word I'm looking for. Anything that adds more personality to the people wandering around is always good in my books. As I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of new coasters that have been added to the game. I'll just briefly pause over each of these. You can stop the video if you want to and read exactly what they're about. These are ones we had already. This one looks good. I like the Sprint 500. I want to try that one out. Lots and lots of new choices, and also there's been changes to the way, let's try this one here, that you can set up and build your coasters as well. So let's briefly look at that. We're going to build ourselves a Sprint 500, so let's start here. We'll add our... let's do this right over here. We'll add our entrance. Okay, one change is now the tools here for moving and adjusting your track are in a fixed position in relation to you looking at the screens. They're not in relation to the track anymore. So they're easy to see. They're always there. There we go. We can lengthen, we can shorten, we can raise, we can lower. All the things we want to do. We can tilt the track. But they're always easy to see and in front of the screen, in front of your face, so you can easily get to them, which is very much needed when you're making the track. The last thing you want to do is lose track of the controls that you're trying to use. Another interesting change to coasters is how the people enter and exit your ride. So if you notice here, we've got entry and exit on the left. We can have entry left, exit right. We can have the opposite, and we have the opposite of the first one, entry and exit on the right as well, which I think is really cool. I like that. So you can design where they're going to leave, which side of the coaster they're going to get in and out of, and then obviously design your paths accordingly. Another great addition, or a slight tweak, is the changing of the colours that we can have on here. Let's just switch the colours around on this track, and you can see how easy it is to personalise your track. I really like that. All sorts of colours, and it's different for each individual piece as well by the look of it, so that is fantastic. And let's auto-complete this track just to finish it off. Where are we at the beginning here? Auto-complete. There we go, and that will automatically take you all the way back round to the beginning. Another fantastic new addition is Auto Tunnel, as you can see down here. Let's just show you how this works. So let's move this as if it's going to go down into the ground, and the ground is going to start opening up. Let's place our pieces, which as you can see now have a cost to them. You've got so much money, it's nothing to worry about, but that's the shape of things to come. Let's just straighten that out and have that going down into the ground some more. There we go. So now we're heading along a tunnel, and as you go along, you're sort of given this view into the ground to see what it looks like, which is very helpful. Let's maybe tip this down a little bit further. I'm not sure how far you can go. Pretty deep by the look of it. Wow, look at that. And we've got that view. We can zoom in. That's about as far as we can zoom in. Okay, let's get this starting to come back up again. That's it, and as it breaks the surface, there we go. We have our tunnel that's been made for us, and this part here is automatically being covered up. Excellent, and then we can just auto-complete our ride. Well, let's give this ride a go. We're going to be accelerated to ridiculous amounts of miles an hour in a very short period of time. We're going to break our necks, be exploded, be put out by the water just in case we're on fire, and then just to really fulfill us with confidence, we'll go through the smoke to finish off the ride. So there we go. I just thought I'd mess around with some of the things, just have a little bit of fun. But I've just added a load of explosions in and fire around the hole, because why not? We can do these things in Planet Coaster. It's all about having fun, but we've got water there. We're safe, so we can put people out afterwards. But like I said, there's so many new different coasters and things that are added. I'll be having more episodes on my channel that will be going through all these different things. I'll also have a series going through where we'll be building and creating our own parks using all of these fantastic new tools that Planet Coaster has added to the game, discovering all the new things that there are. There's so many new things to look at. Every time I touch anything, there's new additions, new editing we can do, all sorts of things. Here we go, look, showing you on the screen now all the different things we can do. And I will see you guys in the next episode. Be sure to hit like if you enjoyed this very brief look at Alpha 2. Be sure to subscribe if you're new as well, and like the look of the other games you can see on the screen that I play, but particularly plenty more Planet Coaster coming your way. Thanks for watching. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.